Hello everybody, welcome back. I am the Chornik, and this is my Elder Scrolls 6 theory series. And in this episode, we're going to talk about Black Marsh. Yes, Black Marsh slash Argonia, if you like to call it Argonia instead. Black Marsh is the name given by the Imperials to that province, but the real name is actually Argonia. But anywho, so you could call it what you may. Black Marsh is the same thing as Argonia, but Black Marsh was just given the name by the Imperials. So anywho, let's delve right into this topic, shall we? Now, Black Marsh, I am doing this province a little sooner because of the popular demand my commenters have been giving me. They wanted me to go over the Argonia, the rumor that is spreading really quickly. The popular rumor that Argonia is going to be the next Elder Scrolls 6 game. But right now, I'll give you my opinion on it. And that is, sorry guys, but it has not been completely confirmed that Argonia is the next one. It is just a bunch of third-party websites that are trying to, troll you and whatever. And they're just, trying to spread some rumor about, Argonia being the next Elder Scrolls game. And they're saying, oh, it's confirmed and all that, but guys, it has not been officially confirmed. However, it does not mean it won't be the next game. So obviously we have to consider Argonia is still kind of in the question. Plus there is so much to discuss in this video, guys, and this video is all about whether Argonia will be the next game that will take place for the Elder Scrolls 6. And we will discuss that in this video. I have a whole bunch of theories. I hope I could get to all of it. I probably won't be able to describe everything within this video, but I'll try the best I can. But thanks guys for waiting, and thanks guys for giving me your rumors and theories, and continue to do that. Next week will be Hammerfell, and later this week I will release a different video about the possibility of 2 provinces for the next Elder Scrolls game. But for this video, let's get back on topic, is about Argonia. So the first thing we'll talk about Argonia is the Hist. Yes, the Hist is a bunch of trees that are, some religious thing the Argonians have for these trees, and these Hists are apparently like having minds of their own, and they're kind of like they guide and protect the Argonians, and then the Argonians guide and protect the Hist as well. So they kind of like help each other. I don't know about guiding the Hist, but they protect the Hist from foreigners, and then they help the Hist, and the Hist helps them, and they're like one with the Hist, the one with the trees, whatever. Some religious thing about with the Argonians. But I believe that obviously there will be some huge plot with the Hist in the next game. Definitely there will be some plot with the Hist, in which maybe there's some special Hist tree that's in trouble or something, you have to save it or something, but who knows. So if you're an Argonian, this will probably matter to you a little bit more, because it is said that the Hist can communicate with the Argonians telepathically. So that's kind of interesting if you're going to be an Argonian and you could listen to the trees or something. But this kind of begs the question, like, how are they going to implement the other races within this province? Because this province really is inhabitable by pretty much all the other races besides the Argonians. So like you pretty much have to be an Argonian to be in this game, right? To be able to access all the areas of each of the province. So it kind of begs the question, like, how are they actually going to implement the other races? Maybe along its borders, perhaps. But, really, like, would this game just be about the Argonians, I mean, perhaps they could, implement some sort of plot in which, maybe the Hist grants, one of the non-Argonian races some, like, superpower in which they can enter certain regions that other non-mortals couldn't usually reach. Maybe there could be some event or plot for non-Argonian characters that they could receive this special sap or something, the special magic in which they're able to enter these different areas. And so maybe that would be one of your superpowers. Maybe the Hist grants you. Maybe it could be like the superpower this game will have. Will all be about the Hist. kind of like the last game was about the Dragonborn, but this game will be about like the Hiss granting you all that power. So perhaps that will be the next plot line for the next game, is pretty much will probably be centered around the Hiss. Now we also have the slavery storyline from history about the Dunmer, and perhaps we'd see a little bit more history upon that. You know, so like with more Morrowind, for example, only being, you know, that game, Elder Scrolls 3, was not even fully Morrowind. I mean, it was only the north part of Morrowind, so like maybe we'd see the south part of Morrowind, which the Argonians did actually invade as a revenge for the slavery they were kept under. So like, maybe we'd see the south part of Morrowind. Maybe we'd go back in past and see the war that went on. Maybe we'd, you know, go to the future. Maybe there's some sort of slavery plotline that we will see in the next game. But maybe if we had a 2-province game, I believe, if it was for Black Marsh, the most likely choice would probably be Morrowind. So kind of some remake of Morrowind, or at least the southern part of Morrowind, because we have not actually had a game with that part into it. For the other provinces, I highly doubt that those provinces will be part of this game, mainly because the Argonians and Black Marsh is just so neutral and isolated from the rest of Tamriel that I highly doubt we would see any other province being added onto this into a game, because, you know, Black Marsh has not had its own game yet. And yes, it could be part of, you know, maybe there could be 2 provinces, but I'll go over that video later this week. I'll make another video about possibility of 2 provinces later, which I talked about. But I highly doubt that they would have another province added on to Argonia, or some type of, you know, Black Marsh Elder Scrolls game. So with the Great War, which I believe will be the main plot line for the next game, Great War 2, World War 2, whatever you want to call it, for Tamriel, I believe that the Argonians would not even be part of that, and I think that if the story was to be set in Argonia / Black Marsh, I believe that the plot would not be about the Great War, and we would not even see part of it. But maybe we would have some side quests in which, you know, maybe the Aldemir Dominion or the Empire is trying to get the Argonians to side with them. So maybe we'd see some side quest with that, but I highly doubt we would see much for that. I believe it would just center around Black Marsh itself. And so the province of Black Marsh will be its own game, just because it's so mysterious and so anything. I mean, like, Bethesda could really do anything with Black Marsh at this point, because it's just so mysterious, and more than any other province, in my opinion, especially through its, you know, its dark history. I believe that it could really be something. I mean, this game could really turn out to be something. I'm actually really hoping to have Black Marsh being implemented in some way for the next game. Maybe if we had a Great War plot, they would at least have maybe a couple areas that you can access of Black Marsh, if the game's not to be set in Black Marsh. So, who knows, I at least hope that we would actually at least see some of Black Marsh within the next game. But anywho, let's get back to this history of Black Marsh. Now, the Shadow Scales, now I'm talking about the Dark Brotherhood plot. The Dark Brotherhood basically had these Shadow Scales, which were Argonians born under the sign of the Shadow, and basically these Argonians were taken at birth, and they were delivered to the Dark Brotherhood to be trained in the art of stealth and assassination. They then returned to Argonia to serve the Argonian kingdom and to act as sort of assassins and spies for the Argonian kingdom. So they're kind of actually legal in Argonia. Mainly in Argonia is actually one of the more thieving and most hostile places to be at, even more so than Skyrim. Argonia is just such a, you know, unique but, you know, hazardous place to be at. But anywho, the next thing to talk about, speaking of government, who is the actual government, you know? There's the An-Exili, I think that's how you pronounce them, but they are said to be the government or the leading force of the Argonians at the moment. So maybe we'd see more about the An-Exili, and perhaps we'd have some quest line with them. Obviously, we'd have some lore with them as well. Perhaps we could see more back into the history of them helping the Argonians and being the leader of the Argonians through the Oblivion Crisis and all this other like Daedric things. Speaking of which, I don't think the Daedric princes will have much to say in Argonia, because like the freaking Argonians kick Daedric butt all the time. Like they just like kick Daedric. I mean, Daedric can't even enter their freaking Black Marsh. I mean, it's so dense and so like protected that like not even the Daedra could inflict damage onto their province and do damage, because it's just such a hazardous and like protected province. So it is really like hard for the Daedra to even have any say in the area whatsoever. So how the Daedra will interfere is also kind of in question as well. So that's something to think about as well. But anyway, guys, a couple things last I would like to talk about here real quick is that there's a lost race called the Limuthit. Limuthit? I don't know how to pronounce that either, because these names are just so weird. But it's apparent that there was a fox race that lived long ago with the Argonians in Argonia. And this race is said to be long lost extinct. Some people say they're in either Akavir or Valenwood now, or they were died out due to the Knahaten flu that happened like long time ago that killed every non-Argonian species. So anyway, guys, that's something to think about. Maybe we would see more about them, but I don't think we will actually be a playable race. I don't think there will actually be a playable race in the next game whatsoever, but hopefully we'll see them. Wow, dudes, this is just, there's so much to go on about Argonia, and I don't know if I'll probably miss a whole lot of stuff within this video. I'll probably maybe make a part 2, but who knows about that. But I'll make a couple extra theories here, and a little, I should say points actually, that I'll make here real quick. And one is that, one thing I noticed is that Hellstrom is now the capital of Argonia, and Solrest is pretty much the Falkreath city for Black Reach, which is the rest place for Argonians. So perhaps we'll have some story with that as well. And last but not least, I would probably like to talk about the secret underground passageway. There's a secret underground passageway, yes, that is apparently in Argonia, and you can access this. Maybe this could be the caravan slash dragon way of fast traveling, like you've seen in Skyrim. But there's a secret underground passageway in Argonia that is apparently there, and maybe we could actually see how that actually turns out. I would actually like to see how that actually turns out. And I'll actually, so it's something extra interesting to think about. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. It was pretty lengthy, I believe. There's a lot to go over for this video. There's a lot of mysteriousness behind Argonia. So hopefully we'll be able to see some of it in the next game. Thanks, guys, for watching this video. Please post your ideas, theories, comments, and all your thoughts about this in the comment section below. The 2 province theories coming later this week, and Hammerfell's coming this weekend. Thanks, guys, for watching, and peace off. Thank you very much.